For more on this, Alexander Titov, a lecturer from Queen's University, joins us now live from Belfast. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us here on the program. Now, we've been reporting for 2 days now about a convoy of Russian troops making its way into Kiev. According to Russia's calculations, however, analysts say that they aimed at taking control of the capital shortly after they first started attacking Ukraine. Who do you think is making the miscalculations here?
Well, I think the whole thing is a huge miscalculation by Russian leadership. In terms of military planning, yes, it seems to be that what analysis is correct. They want to encircle Kiev and take it. Presumably, I don't know if it's actually possible militarily without a huge loss of life. And I think it's been emphasized, and both for domestic political reasons, but also for international ones, that the aim of the operation was to minimize civilian casualties. So I don't know how it's compatible with actually giving assault on Kiev, as well as Kharkiv in the north. In the south, I think they're kind of progressing broadly according to plan, particularly in East Donbass, where there is the biggest concentration of Ukrainian troops around the breakaway republics. So they will presumably crush those Ukrainian units, and then I hope there'll be negotiations after that.
And Russia is saying it's also captured Kherson in Ukraine's south, whereas local authorities there say the opposite. With all the moving parts to this crisis, it's hard to verify information at this stage. Could Russia be misinforming people as a tactic towards the West?
Well, I think, in these circumstances, you have to take very carefully all the claims about those sides. Obviously there is a lot of propaganda going on and so forth. But we don't know. I mean, it's very hard to tell the exact movements, but Kherson does seem to be under Russian control. It's so difficult to tell what the actual broad Russian plans are, apart from going into against the eastern Ukraine, recovering the two Donbas regions, and encircling the capital or taking over the Kiev. So yeah, I don't know. Kherson seems to be taken. What is the aim there? I mean, going to Mykolaiv and Odessa further on, or stopping there. It's very difficult to tell. I would just don't take anybody's word as a gospel, so to say.
All right. Now, we're constantly hearing from the West that they have to decrease their dependence on Russia, if not completely cut ties, especially when it comes to their dependency on gas. But do you think that's a realistic goal to have? And could we see ties completely cut between the West and Russia resulting from this crisis?
Well, the ties have been cut dramatically already, so there's no air links between Russia. There is a huge amount of disruption to Russian economy. The issue of gas, of course, is a strategic one. It's not going to be solved in a day or even in a year. There is such kind of deep structural issues that have to be addressed. That's why, and it will be very painful for the West as well. So we'll see. Yeah, obviously this is going to happen, but just don't be realistic about the time frame. It's not going to be just a matter of 1 year. It's a matter of restructuring of energy supplies. It will take years. In the meantime, Russia, of course, will be rearranging its own energy supplies, including to China, India, and so forth. Of course, Turkey is a key hub for Russian gas going to Europe as well. It relies on Russian gas as much as Germany does.
Indeed. Now, we are expecting the second round of ceasefire talks to be held today between Ukrainian officials and Russian officials. Can we expect a breakthrough? If not, why are they holding these talks in the first place? Could this be a tactic for either side to buy time?
Well, I think that's the kind of reasonable assumption, that as long as there is still very dynamic developments on the battlefield, it's unlikely that the talks will conclude unless there is one side is ready to capitulate, and I don't think either Russia or Ukraine are at that stage. So, but they are putting feelers to each other about what possibly can do. The first round of talks was relatively encouraging in a sense that they said there were some points which they can develop further on, which is a good was a good sign, better sign than expected otherwise. But yeah, today's meeting, I don't think there will be breakthroughs either, simply because there is still too much going on the actual battlefield.
All right, Alexander Titov, it was a pleasure speaking to you here on TRT World. Thank you for your insight.